Grief, someone once said, is love with no place to go. Our special guest today experienced a tremendous loss in her life and found a way to pour out that love stored over a lifetime into so many precious people and adoptable pets across the Northwest. Alix Frazier, founder of Paws with Cause, welcome to Spirit 105.3. How did this beautiful thing begin?
Well, I kind of stumbled into it, honestly. My mother had Alzheimer's, and I was doing things with her that I was hoping would bring her a little bit out of her shell and perhaps make some long-term memories for me that would last me over after she passed away. And we had been doing various things, and finally we settled on painting, and neither of us knew how, but we didn't care if we were making disaster pieces. It just wasn't a goal to make a masterpiece. And in a short amount of time, we got bored painting flowers and barn doors. And so we each decided we'd paint our shelter cat. And we did that, and it just had such resonance with us that we thought, there's other animals out there that need some exposure, so let's do that.
That's so cool. Have you seen people benefited from the opportunity to paint the animals?
Well, I see people benefiting all the time. I started this thinking of the animals, and then it suddenly dawned on me, wow, this is helping a lot of people. On the wider spectrum, it's bringing the community together. But then each individual that I see, whether they're just an everyday level person, they seem to get some confidence and joy out of it. They realize they're helping another soul on this planet, and it feeds their own soul. And then I'm also watching those who may not have a voice or a choice, and they are also getting something out of this. I'm dealing with a young man right now who is on the autism spectrum. He's incredibly shy, and he started painting with us in 2021, and he has just come out of his shell and blossomed.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you. I work with several groups that have developmental disabilities, persons with developmental disabilities. A gentleman named Thomas comes in and paints with me at our studio in the Everett Mall every Fridays, and he has become so good at painting. He started coloring, color pages. He's become so good at painting that he actually has a small little following now that goes to our galleries at local area businesses around town to see his pictures.
Oh my goodness. I love that this helps people and pets. So how are the animals benefiting from Paws with Cause?
Well, we bring the pictures out to the community for them to see, and so in a very real sense, we're getting them seen outside the cages and in everyday places. So you might see them in the Fred Meyer bathroom hallway. And while I never wanted my name in a bathroom hallway before, I kind of do now.
That's great.
Can you think of a time where an animal has been hooked up with a person because of one of these events that you guys have done, and just that you got the sense that it was going to be a perfect match?
Oh, all the time. We see the pictures all the time, and we get the biographies from the shelters themselves, which we also put on the sketch. We have a sketch picture of each animal. We sell a to-go bag, a take-home kit, and then with that comes a color picture of the animal as a guide, and then their biography. And so we've been responsible for over 3,000 animals getting homes right now because of this program. And I think the funnest one was this couple who called me from Spanaway, and they'd seen some goats in the Fred Meyer hallway, and they wanted these goats, and they drove all the way from Spanaway to Monroe to get these goats. And when they got there, they got two, and then they came back later for more.
Oh, my goodness.
I get these lovely emails from people all the time. I got this email from an older gentleman. He called his kitty Eileen, and he was about 74 years old, and he said, I just love my kitty Eileen, and because of you guys, she's now in my life.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? This is so special because you said 3,000 pets, but I look at that as 6,000 plus lives because every single pet has been matched up with a person and then the people in their lives. It multiplies.
Yes, it does. And the kids that are involved and they're learning stewardship of animals, that just gives me such happiness for them to understand that they're part and parcel of this world and taking care of other living beings on the planet.
Amazing. So, Alix, what is going on in Everett right now?
Well, what a good question. Thanks for that lead-in. We are having the great Everett scavenger hunt. And so 32 Everett businesses have come together to say that they're going to support this effort of helping animals get seen outside the cages. And these are art stores like Zamarama, like Shack Arts, like JAG. Their restaurants, the Irishman, Flying Pig, That Chicken Place, they are the Everett Children's Museum, Imagine Children's Museum, and Everett Chevrolet, Everett Tire and Automotive, and they are all sponsoring a single picture for a scavenger hunt.
Wow.
And so individuals can go around Everett, and we don't make it too tricky to find. We'll even give you a map, and they log that they have found that picture. We call it logging your loot, and as they find that picture, they take a selfie with it if they wish, and then we post that to social media pages, and that makes that animal somewhat famous, and it helps them get seen, and it also supports the local businesses who are giving out coupons, and it helps us show off these shelter animals, these very worthy souls.
Wow.
That is so cool. It's so clever the way you've got so many different interests working together.
Yeah.
It's like a machine, where one thing affects another, which affects another, which affects the first thing.
It is very symbiotic and very cyclical, and I love it too, and it's working for the whole community. And I think that's our secret sauce. Instead of being a silo, instead of being isolated, we're bringing everybody together. And right now we paint for more than 50 different shelters in this region, and I'd love to see it go across the United States.
We would love to see that with you. Alex, what would your mom think if she knew the difference that you've made in our community?
Well, nobody's ever asked me that question before, so it's going to take me just a second, but she had these smiling eyes, and I think the first thing I would see is that little crinkle of her eye and that little smile and that little twinkle, and then she would just sort of beam and she would say, "Daughter, well done."
Oh. Alex, you're a gem. We're just so happy to be able to get the word out about this. Thank you for catching the spirit in Everett and way beyond.
Well, thank you, and please look for us. We are in Everett primarily, but we'll be doing the Dog Days of Spanaway on July 16th, and that same day we're going to be doing a Bark in the Park in Everett at Clark Park, all to help animals, all to get more of them seen, all to fund this initiative to help more animals find homes.
You're a delight. We're so grateful for you. Thank you again.
It is my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me on.